Hi, this series of videos is a collection of some pictures and video clips I took when making my own bass guitar. I took them to show my family and friends how I spent my time. However, when it's done, my wife suggested that I put together a video to share with anyone who might be interested, and also as a memory for myself, so I did. I am not a woodworker, nor a musician, and it's also my first try to make a video. So if you are looking for a professional guitar making, film editing, slow motion, delicate light or something educational, this may not be one of them, otherwise they might still be fun to watch how an amateur builds guitar with simple tools. So here we go. In November 2021, I started my first try to build a bass guitar for myself. Building a guitar was something scary to me as I have no experience in woodworking, nor enough knowledge on either music or music instrument, but I do have a bass clone for the last 42 years. I bought it when I was a freshman trying to join a band, but it came with 4mm action at first fret and 9mm at the last, also with a bowed neck that made it extremely difficult to play. I didn't know a setup was required to make it right, and tried for several months, eventually gave up and put it back to its case since then. I didn't sell it because it looks beautiful, and I still had the dream of playing bass guitar. I retired in 2021 and thought it might be a time to pick up my bass guitar dream again. It's a lot easier to access information nowadays, so I followed instructions step by step to set up my bass guitar. Now it's very easy to play, but there are still two problems that I couldn't get around. 1. My fingers are slow and short. I did try expanding the span and so-called micro shift, but turned out a failure. 2. It's pretty heavy at around 13 pounds, not a problem when I was young, but a little too heavy for me now. Since I have no way to change the frets or neck, or I didn't know how to, I thought of making a smaller guitar for myself, something without weight and finger span issue. After all, I expected playing guitar be fun rather than torturing. I was not interested to test my limits, and that's where the project got started. I started to watch guitar making videos to see what it takes to homemade a guitar, and came into a video by Patrick Hunter reviewing Ibanez Micro GSRM20 bass guitar, and further realized what I have is a full-scale bass at 34 inches nut-to-bridge saddle. I have the options to go with medium scale at 32 inches, short scale at 30 inches and micro scale at 28 inches ones. Also from the guitar making videos, I tried to find out what I could do with all the tools I had at hands, including from material to the final product. You may have noticed that you are very unlikely to have jointer, bandsaw, scroll saw, drum sander, and all guitar-specific measurement tools in your collections, but were essential tools in guitar making. Not a dead end for me. I thought things could still be done if I lowered my expectation. It's the first try anyway. I searched for parts that I won't be able or have no intention to make, because I don't have decent tools, nor enough experience in making anything that looks nice. By watching guitar making videos, my understanding is that there are simply too many specific tools, knowledge, and skill required to make a neck that actually works, so the availability of the neck and matching string set was the key, while I assumed all the other parts are interchangeable among different scales. I listed all the parts one thought required and ordered them from Amazon, including tuners, string set, pre-wired pickup set, bridge, and strap buttons. The only bass guitar necks I could find were 34 and 30 inches ones, so it's not difficult for me to settle on a 30-inch short scale one. As you may notice, the only thing I could work on is the guitar body, but really, designing, putting things together and making it work is a lot more difficult than expected. I also ordered the Ibanez Micro GSRM20 WNF from Cosmo Music through Reverb as a backup, thinking my project was most likely to fail anyway. The tools I used were jigsaw, drill, edge trimmer, sander, oscillating tool, small planer, chisel, hammer, rasp, file, and clamps. They are all from either thrift store or garage sale, so there was no extra cost on tool. I was just using whatever I had to make the best out of them, and I didn't expect amazing result, as you will see in the coming videos. The guitar styles in my mind were Fender, Rickenbacker, and Ibanez, mostly traditional type. Since I had already had a Fender style, and an Ibanez was on its way, there's no question this project will go Rickenbacker style 1. With my eyes on a 4003 on computer screen, I drew the body profile on a cardboard, made some corrections and cut it out. You will notice it's not much like a Rickenbacker, but I'm fine with it because I preferred tapered and rounded edge without obvious ridge line, so it will be at most maybe 10% look alike a Rickenbacker anyway. Also I did a measurement to ensure there's enough space for pickup and bridge. In consideration it's 30 inches minus the neck length. This measurement also roughly decided how deep the neck will go into the body. I knew guitar makers use expensive hardwood to make guitars so they last longer and looks much valuable. However, they have matching higher quality tools that I don't have, such as bandsaw, drum sander, and router. And also as mentioned, this project is more likely to fail but collecting experiences, so I tend to use softer wood for the body, just easier to work with and much less frustration. Eventually I used 2x construction lumber for the body, simply because there were several scrap pieces in my garage left by the previous house owner. I understand its claimed tuner is important, but no one ever explained how different they'll make or what kind of bad situation a cheaper one will cause except for the price, so I just went with cheaper ones at $18 which didn't come with too many negative feedbacks. Easy to replace with another set if I find it too bad to work properly. This $13 bridge set is actually a much better built with thicker plate and 4 saddle adjustments than the 2 adjustments on my P-bass clone. Again, no one ever talked about how a cheaper bridge can damage the play and tone, or what difference it would make, but concluded, it's bad, you get what you pay for. Might be the best PJ configuration pickup set for $45. I didn't pay too much attention to the tone because it's pretty subjective, also I wouldn't know how it sounds until everything put together. But since I didn't expect myself to be a musician, it's only up to me if I take it or not, and it turned out quite acceptable. I bought a set of 4 buttons for $20, so $10 for a pair, and frankly, the quality is quite nice. $95 for a 30-inch neck with block inlays and a paddle headstock, so I will need to come up with my own headstock design. The hollow plastic nut is just good enough to do the job. The neck was pretty straight and I wasn't too worried about the frets and fretboards since I'm not gonna be able to do anything to them anyway. I don't know what it's made of, but I realized it's very hard when I shaped the headstock. The string set is a D'Addario EXL 170M XL medium scale at $28. I watched bass guitar string reviews, and frankly, I got confused among them. I totally have no clue what makes what different and what I may prefer. Eventually I went for this one for no reason. I have Rotosound 66 tight on my P-bass clone for the last 42 years because I didn't know I should lower the tension before storing it in the case, but it still sound good for me. Might sounds crap by professionals though. This will be the end of this first video of the series. I went through the motivation why I tried to build one, the design, tools and the parts one used to build it. There will be videos for shaping, finishing, and assembly coming up later. So as you can see, it's going to be a cheap lower-end bass guitar built by cheap parts and scrap wood using very simple tools. If you are still interested in how it was made, we'll see you later.